Beautiful. So, Ayman, give us a feedback from where you were at with our last discussion. And
So
then,
last, yes, sir.
sorry.
Yeah, you were telling something. Sorry to interrupt you. You can continue.
Yeah. So the floor is yours. Tell us about your resume and then bring it up.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, yesterday when we were discussing about my resume, it was
Mhm.
very like I was I in my resume I have written what I have done. Like I
Yeah.
just described exactly like, but
Can you
it's
share it
not,
so that Ali can understand what you're talking about and the
one.
rest of our viewers, obviously? I mean, that's why I record these things because when you take a look at all the recordings, so many different students, so many different coachings, and I'm really hoping that you guys understand what I'm talking about when we talk about something else. So, um,
Yes, today, as you told me, so I start maybe around in the evening and I started editing each and everything. So I made it a little bit impactful,
mm,
try to
like what
reduce.
did you change, for example, so that Ali knows what you changed?
Yeah, so before it was very descriptive that as you can see, the first point, it is clearly written that I led an agile sprint
Hmm.
where I was increasing the workflow with efficiency, with adapting with the team and discussing in the team and changing the priorities. But in the past, I have written this was a 6 week course and I led the sprint where I had this team members. I have included each and every detailed description in that. But that with discussing yesterday, I understood that that did not make any kind of sense. So yeah, I just turned into this by using the help of ChatGPT.
So, okay. So, can you go to the design principles that I asked Ali to open up earlier?
Yes,
Because I
I
want to start from there so that we have a baseline for this discussion. I see you have all sorts of index. Very good.
yes,
Design principle number three. I mean, resume design principles.
yeah. Here you go.
Yes. All right. So, Ali, this is what you and I started to discuss earlier.
Mhm.
So, open that, please. So number one is exactly what Ayman is talking about because his original resume, he was not thinking of the job description. Okay. He just put a bunch of words in his resume. And then to ensure that the resume needs to highlight results and accomplishments versus usually the issue is people just talk about tasks. So Ayman, could you please go back to your resume?
Yes, sir.
So let's take a look at the very first bullet. He said led agile sprints, increasing workflow efficiency and team adaptability in changing priorities. Is that a description or is that a listing of results?
So you asking me or Ali?
Any, both of you.
It is a kind of result
Okay, kind of. Why do you say
uh,
kind of? See, you're
because
not sure, but I like that you sense that it's not complete. So why is
complete.
it kind of?
Because I clearly described what is happening. So I clearly described how it is increasing the
Yeah.
workflow, it is increasing the team
Good.
adaptability.
So let's change it for a little bit. How many agile sprints did you lead?
We led like four agile sprints.
Okay, so you missed stating that. You
Yeah.
led 4 agile sprints, increasing workflow efficiency. How did you know?
Because each
Okay,
sprint,
hang on. Without explaining it to me, because that's the problem of a resume. Are you noticing how I'm asking you questions?
yes sir, yes
The
sir.
resume has to communicate all of that information, but they won't ask you questions. They'll just read it. And in my mind, there's something that's missing. So this is why you said kind of.
Yeah.
Iman, okay,
Yeah.
because you led 4 agile sprints and then you increased workflow. So, okay, I interrupted you rudely, but how do you know that you increased the workflow efficiency?
Yeah, because in each sprint we understood how the workflow is going on. So in first week of the sprint, it was not that smooth as we
Okay, give me a
expected.
sense because I have no idea. You're just describing it again. If you're giving this to a stranger, you
Mhm.
have to give me context of what you understood. I do not understand it. You do. So your job is to articulate it such that I get it. Do
Okay.
you see the issue?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because I can hear you speaking. You're like, oh, yeah, 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 I did this, I did this. But
Yeah.
me as a listener, I have no clue. You knew what you did. So your job is to articulate it. So tell me more.
So okay. So it was like we had like 10 backlog product where we had to discuss each and every week and come up with a solution in the sprint. So in the first week, it was not as good as we expected. But in the coming weeks, each sprint, we had increase in product backlogs. Each and every week, we had different kind of product backlogs, and those because we had a change, we could even improve the workflow efficiency in that.
I'm Ali. Did you get what he's trying to refer to? Was there impact, or is he just describing?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, he's kind of talking about, yeah, it improved, but I'm still trying to understand how he know it improved. I have no idea. I'm just taking his word that it improved.
Oh.
What was your baseline, Ayman, when you started it with the sprint? So give me more details.
Okay, so we had to work on different kind of project management tools like Jira,
So how
Monday.com.
many of those project management tools?
We were a team of 6 and
Okay.
2 people worked on each project management tool.
Okay, so now you're giving me additional details that are not related to what I said. You collaborated on a team of 6,
6.
and then you were working on how many project management tools? 4 project management tools.
No, 3.
Okay, 3 project management tools. And then the project management tools, I'm assuming, because you're not giving me the information, I'm assuming that the project management tool started with data that said X, and then after you finish whatever process, the data said Y. That's why you concluded that between X and Y, it improved. Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Well, no, you have to tell me.
That-
It's like I'm trying to pull out teeth
Pull
here
out.
and I'm a dentist, but you're the one who did the process.
Process.
So you tell me, man. Don't have me squirming for data. You see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You have to give
Getting it.
me, who just picks up your resume, context of your impact. So try.
Yeah. I'm understanding. Yeah, I get it.
But let's try now because I don't want to let you go again. Then you come back and then you write something like this. I want some improvement in the work that you do. So I want you to get it during the call. So we already started, right? You said led agile sprints, and I said how many? You said 4.
4.
And then you said you collaborated on a team of 6. All of that should be showing up. And then you work with 3 project management tools. Ali, do you understand why catching out all those details gives me context of what Ayman was doing,
Yeah.
right? So that's
Yes.
why I'm kind of telling Ayman, don't let me work that hard. I mean, you did it. Tell me. Don't let me ask you the questions. And that's why I told you to use GPT. You could do what you're doing with me to GPT. Just say, GPT, these are my current bullets. They're boring. I want you to ask me 2 questions per bullet so that you could create more results-oriented and focused and impactful bullets, but you have to be concise.
Concepts.
Okay? So the work that I'm suggesting you do with GPT, I'm doing with you right now.
I'm getting it, bro.
Well, yeah, but we need to understand that you can actually get it to a point where you transform these bullets. So what else can you add? See your part where you said optimize internal flow, reducing project turnaround by 30%. Okay, that's good. It tells me that you reduced it by 30%. So I'm looking for something similar to the 3rd bullet in the 1st bullet.
Okay.
And then the last one, you said identified and mitigated potential risk, preventing 20% of project delays. So when you put in numbers, and by the way, you cannot always quantify, but the easiest way to give the reader context as to what you accomplished is by giving numbers. So that's why I started saying in your first bullet, you said you led 4 agile sprints.
Mhm.
You collaborated with 6 people. You
Mhm.
worked on 3 project management tools. And again, I'm assuming because of the project management tools, it's giving you some of this information.
Yeah.
Questions?
Yeah. I just need to edit the everything.
Yeah.
The 4
No, no, no.
exact.
Actually, write your notes. You probably can't sit down and think.
Yeah. Just
As
let
you're
me.
writing, just take down notes as to what you need to change and then ask me questions. I'm hoping, Ali, that you're taking notes as well, because when we go to your resume, it's the same exact process. So while Ayman is taking notes, do you have questions, Ali?
No, so far, no.
So far, so good. Do you understand the concept of what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, you didn't sound like a sure yes. So remember when I showed you design principle number 1? Whenever you write a resume, you need to understand what the job description is. And then when you write your bullets, you need to be talking about your impact. Because if you notice, I'm flagging the way Ayman wrote his bullets. He said, led agile sprints, increased workflow, team adaptability, and changing priorities. What is he really saying? Nothing. He's just describing tasks. And then the second one, he says, used Monday.com to oversee sprint planning, backup prioritization, task tracking. Essentially, what Ayman is telling me is, I did this, I did this, I did this. If I'm a hiring manager for Ayman, don't you think I already know what tasks he should be doing? Okay. So if all he was doing was just describing the tasks, he's not rising above the crowd, because what's more important to me is what he did with the tasks. What did he accomplish with the tasks? It's very easy to rise above the crowd if you start talking about your results. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So let's switch back really quickly. Ayman, I want to see Ali and see that he applies the knowledge to his resume. And Ayman, it's your opportunity to apply some of that by looking at somebody else's resume. So if you could please stop sharing, Ayman,
Yes.
we'll go to Ali really quickly.
Okay, so share my resume.
Please.
Okay. I mean, I hope it looks good.
Say that again.
I hope it looks good because
Well, even if it looks bad, that's why we're here to talk
Yeah.
about it. So don't worry about it. I guess that's why we have coaching sessions, so that we could improve it.
Okay, so yeah.
So I like it. It's clean. You use the template. Chicago, Illinois, you forgot 60616. Sometimes the applicant tracking system looks for the zip code, so make sure you change that. Your
Okay.
LinkedIn, you could personalize that. You see how it has those numbers 46185? That
Yeah.
means you did not personalize it. You can change that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to give Ayman an opportunity to give you feedback based on what he's seeing, because Ayman was able to study the 4 design principles. Let's give him an opportunity to apply it by looking at your resume. Comments, Ayman?
Yes. I'm just going through it. Give me a second.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
What do you think of his bullets?
Yeah, well, when coming to the education, I think we discussed this. You showed me the difference, how he just wrote the relevant coursework and how he described the point of the relevant coursework. I only see it's only written the coursework, what he has done.
Okay,
But he did
explain
not.
it. Okay, Ayman, explain it such that Ali understands what you're talking about.
So
And then
Ali,
Ali, ask him questions, okay? If it's not clear, ask Ayman questions.
Okay.
So Ali, you have just when you go to the bachelor's that applied cybersecurity and information technologies, here you just you have written what the coursework you have done. Like for example, introduction to open source application development, database modeling, it's the subjects that you have studied in your bachelor's, but what did you exactly gain from the subjects that is not written over there?
Okay.
That
Are
is
you
what.
understanding that, Ali? Because a resume is supposed to highlight you. Okay.
Yeah.
All you did out here was highlight your courses.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we need to bring up Ali's impact with why you put down the courses. So I'm going to expand past what Ayman said. Usually, the reason people put courses in their resume is because they do not have enough experience. Is that correct in your case, Ali?
Yeah, that exactly correct.
Okay. So the other thing that you need to do also is you pretty much put a lot of stuff about the relevant courses. Number one, it makes it very obvious that you don't have any experience. And then number two, if you go to design principle number two says that the reader of resumes are very, very busy.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they see a resume like yours that spends, this much information about courses, it's like you're wasting your time. And if I have a bunch of resumes to look at, guess what I'll do with yours? I'm going to
What?
put it aside or put it in the garbage can, right? Because it's not relevant.
Yeah.
Are you understanding some of
Yeah.
the strategies and the psychology that we talk about in resume efficiency? So we went beyond just putting a resume together. Okay.
Yeah. I understand.
So you spent a lot of stuff talking about relevant courses. So what I'm looking for, if I were a hiring manager, Ali, would it be education or experience?
Experience.
So you should really be highlighting what you talked about in the experience part, right? So let's see what you have. Defense, hacker, internship. Let's see what else you have. You got 2, IT support intern. You have 3. Oh, and then you
Yeah.
have projects also. Keep going. Let me see what
Yeah.
else you have. Projects, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 projects. Okay. You see all the good stuff in this resume is at the bottom. The
Yeah.
problem is if the very busy manager was bored with your relevant courses in the beginning, they wouldn't even get to this part.
Yeah.
Questions?
Like, should I move like the projects like in the top?
Yeah, actually, let's go back to Ayman's and then you will hear the answers to your questions. I realize this is your first meeting, Ali, so I would rather go to Ayman's because it's a little bit, with the concepts so that you can understand the concepts by listening to our discussion. Feel free to jump in with our discussion with Ayman, okay? So if
Okay.
you could stop sharing, let Ayman share.
Okay.
So Ayman, take it from where you left off with your changes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
You already see? What are you seeing, Ali?
Like shows like right away in the top the skills and the academic project
Yeah.
experience.
So
Yeah.
Ayman is trying to give the information to the busy. Could you please go back to the design principles, Ayman, so that
Yes.
Ali can see it, please? So number 2, Ali, it says that the hiring manager has very little time. So part of your task, and Ayman's doing this, is to structure the resume such that it gives the reader easy, fast access to relevant information. Did you notice your resume, Ali? All the good stuff was at the bottom. So you're not addressing number 2, right?
Yeah.
Your expectation was they would read the whole thing and then they would conclude. They're very busy, man. They will never get to the bottom.
Yeah.
Your resume will be in the garbage can before that happens.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. And then number 3, when you guys prepare your resume based on the job description, what you're really doing without knowing it is really preparing for the interview. Because guess what they will be asking you during the interview? They'll ask you why they should pick you for the job, right? Which is exactly what we're doing in the resume. We're talking about our results and accomplishments relative to the job description that they want.
I got a doubt, sir.
Go ahead.
So yeah, now I clearly understood the difference. I prepared a generic resume for all kind of, I
Yeah.
was applying. I just
And
gone
did you
to
get
the.
any calls?
I got like one call and it's all rejections. Otherwise, it's just on the whole. I was not getting any rejection
Okay,
mail
so
or
now
any.
you understand why you're not getting calls, right?
Exactly.
Because it's
Exactly.
too generic. It's too generic. Kind of like
Yes.
Ali. They take a look at it, and then if it's not relevant, especially if I have to go through 500, 1,000 resumes, I mean, I'm going like this with the resumes, right? I don't have time to read it all. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you realized that, Ayman. Ali, you were going to say something?
No, just saying, yeah,
Make sense?
yeah, makes sense.
Okay, and then number 4, I want to bring it to your attention. It's your job search, and any advice that you see on the internet, any advice that Floresca is giving you, it doesn't matter because it's your job search, it's your resume. You decide what you want to put in your resume.
Mm.
Okay? So now
Okay.
that we understand all 4 job principles, let's go back to Ayman's resume, and Ayman's going to tell me what else he changed and whatever other questions he has. Both of you have, actually. Where did you stop with the work that you were doing, Ayman?
Yeah, I actually, changed everything like my academic project experience, whatever I have.
Okay.
I trimmed it.
It's looking much, much better. But
Yeah.
as you notice, for your agile project management, I was still digging in deeper, right?
Yes.
So you can use Chat GPT to help you with some of that stuff. And I'll show you how to do that also, Ali. The reason it was very important when we started this conversation, and I said you didn't follow instructions. The instructions were to join the group so that you have access to the index, because as you're observing, Ali, the index has all the information that will help you improve the resume, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to switch this topic really closely. Do you have a second page, Hyman, or this is it?
No, just only one page.
Very
I
good.
think, yeah. What my seniors and professors told me, they had asked me to maintain one page resume and cover letter to maybe 1.5 to 2 pages.
Cover letter.
Yeah, I'm still working on the cover letter.
Cover letter, man. Don't make it 1.5 to 2 pages. It's being read by the same busy hiring manager. So do you think you want a really a 2-page cover letter? I don't think so.
No, no.
And do you
I'm
really
still,
do you really want to fill the entire first page? I don't think so.
no, I don't
Because
want.
it's being read by the same busy hiring manager. So that's the whole point with resume, cover letter. You need to state your case quickly to
Quickly.
a person who's very, very busy. Don't forget that. Once you start ignoring that, then you're not effective.
Yes, sir.
So let's work on relevance. Okay. So, Ali, you may have to do the same thing. So give me a job title you're applying for, Ayman.
Junior project manager.
Okay, junior project manager. So did you notice how I started Ali by saying, what's the target? What's the job title? And he said junior project manager. So now, Ayman, I want you to think of job descriptions for junior project manager. Do you have that in mind?
Yeah, I have
All
that in
right,
mind.
good.
So,
Here's the next question. According to that job title, I see you have 4 experiences. No, 3
three
experiences.
experiences.
Which one of these 3 is top priority that you want them to read first because it's very, very relevant? Which of the 3?
Mm, Honestly speaking, I would like them to read the project management
They
plan that
won't do
I have
that.
done.
You see, that's why we
Yeah.
discuss it like this. Part of your task as the job seeker is to don't wait for them to connect the
Connect.
dots. They're very busy. So
Right.
you take responsibility after studying the job description. You tell them, don't take any chances. You tell them what you want them to see first to consider you relevant. So I repeat the question. Out
Yeah,
of the 3, which one is top priority?
my project management
Which
plan is
one?
this one.
Project management plan. Very good. I'm going to
But
call that.
I have a question over here, but that is done in 2020, start of the
Doesn't
2024.
matter.
Okay, so you should
Doesn't
not put
matter
the
when you
recent
did
one
it
on the
because you
top
said
and
it's the most relevant, right?
yeah.
They're not looking for the most recent. They're looking for the most relevant.
Okay.
So according to Ayman, project management plan is top priority. I'm going to call top priority segment 1 for the purposes of discussion. Project management plan is segment 1. What's your segment 2, Ayman?
Segment 2, agile project management.
Agile project management, and then your segment 3 is AI in business project.
Exactly.
So Ali, did you notice how when I asked the question for relevance, Ayman was all over the place?
Yeah.
Okay, he went here, he went here, he went here. So that's what I was talking about, that you need to lead the reader. So scroll back up, please.
Okay.
Actually, let's let you finish taking notes. Write down what you need to write down, Ayman. Ali, did you have any questions while we're waiting for Ayman?
So like, of course, is it better like to keep it like one page, like the
So
resume?
it's not really about the number of pages. It's really about relevance. Okay. So let's assume that somebody has a lot of experience and all those experiences were relevant to the job description. By all means, submit a 2-page resume. However, you still have to contend with the fact that they're very busy. So it's not really a matter of number of pages, it's a matter of relevance.
Yeah.
Does that answer the question, Ali?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, good. Other questions? Otherwise, Ayman's going to go back to no other questions, Ali?
Um, ju- uh, I have a question about the relevant courses. Like,
Your
should I just
relevant courses. Let's talk about that when we go back to yours, okay? So
Okay.
let me just finish with Ayman and then we'll go back to your resume. So the next thing I'm going to talk about, Ayman, relative to your resume is, can you go back to the index, please?
Yes, sir.
In the index, scroll down to case study under the workshops. It's case study 5 better. So I asked this student the same question I just asked you, Ayman. I said, what's your segment 1? What's your segment 2? What's your segment 3? So this student was all over the place also, but he took advantage of using a summary at the top of the resume. To number 1, he curated the arrangement of his background. Okay, so instead of having them read it all over the place in the chronological arrangement of a resume, because that's standard, you can't change that. He created a summary so that number 1, it's at the top of the resume, and number 2, he picked the top bullets that he wanted them to see first. So he curated the information relative to the job description, and then he put it on a silver platter and pretty much said, hey, you guys were looking for this in the job description. Here are my results relative to what you want. Call me in for an interview. Do you see what's going on?
Yes, yes, I
So it's
see
a
it.
strategic way to become relevant immediately.
He had written a whole summary like what he has done, and then the experience
Specific
just
to the job
job
description.
description. In experience, he just gave like one line command like what he has done. That's it. Like everything is there in summary. What he has related to the job description.
Correct. So do you understand the strategy?
Yes.
So not everybody needs a summary.
Summary.
Because had I asked Ayman the question and I said, what's the top priority, segment 1? He goes here. What's the second top priority? Here. What's the next top priority? Here. If it kind of flowed beautifully, then not a problem. He may not need a summary.
Summary.
But in Ayman's case, he was all over the place. That's why I'm recommending a summary. So I asked Benjamin the same question with his old resume. I said, what's your segment 1? What's your segment 2? What's your segment 3? However many experiences he had. Once the bullets are written correctly, just like Ayman is bettering his bullets, once those bullets are beautiful, you grab them, you put it in the summary, you massage it a little bit so that it looks like a summary, and voila, you're relevant immediately at the top of the resume. Questions? No questions?
No.
So what do you
I
think, Ayman? Do you think you will use a similar strategy? What are your
Yes.
thoughts?
Yes, I will use a similar strategy.
Okay, so for your strategy, you don't start by writing the summary first. You go to your bullets, okay, because you know segment 1, segment 2, segment 3. You're going to improve those bullets. Your next work is really improving those bullets. Once you have all those bullets down according to relevance that you and I just discussed, you're going to grab those, and then that will be the basis for your summary. Questions?
After seeing the job descriptions, I clearly understood what are the priorities.
Very good. I'm
Yeah.
glad that you're connecting the dots, Ayman. So
With
Ali,
every junior project management job description, they are asking me to build a project plan where I had to, obviously work on the project management tools, simultaneously have an idea of project management, plan building, how you're doing budgeting, how you're doing, cost estimation,
and
everything
you
will.
know how you need to highlight those in the bullets, right?
Yes,
And then do not just describe it like you just did. You give them context so they understand your impact when you were using those tools that
Good.
they wanted. Very good, Ayman. If you could please stop sharing, let's go to Ali now with this question about relevance.
Yes, sir.
Is this helping, Ayman?
Yeah, it is helping.
Okay,
I just need to work on it and then,
yeah, you know what
tailor
the
it
next
and
step is, so that's good. So you have something to work on, and then hopefully you can join us at 11 o'clock tomorrow.
yeah.
So Ali had a specific question. So Ali, based on what you heard, our discussion with Ayman, I want you to tell us what are you thinking of changing based on what we've discussed so far, and then you can ask me your question.
Okay, so I'm thinking first, of course, like reorder like the sections, like the education, keep it like below.
Are you
Sim
looking for internship or full-time?
um internship.
Okay, if you're looking for internship, they usually look for the education first.
Okay.
Okay, but what I would do in your case was I wouldn't put as much coursework so that it's just like the three uh, colleges. You have Illinois Tech, and then Harold Washington. And then you would only mention some of the courses if they specifically stated it in the job description, and then you just want to mention that you took a course in it because you don't have the experience.
Okay, so only like the relevant courses for the job.
Absolutely. That's part of the relevance. What you were
Okay.
trying to do here was you were being complete, Ali. Okay. They're not looking for complete. They're only looking for what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. So good.
Okay.
You got the education part down. And then you're going to do, so what do you think they're going to be more attractive to them? Skills or applied skills, also known as experience? Which one is more important to them?
Experience.
So you're going to put experience above skills.
Yeah.
Okay. A recommendation, but you decide what you want to do. Okay. And then what else? Under experience, same questions. Projects. What's more important? Projects or skills?
Um, I think projects.
Exactly. So you're going to do experience, projects. Actually, what you could also think of doing is you could combine your work experience and projects if you want. I don't know if it makes sense for you, but I'm just suggesting it as another option.
Okay, because the projects I did like all are in the like here at IIT.
Yeah. So again, just looking at this, I think you were trying to be complete and not necessarily relevant, right? Because
Yeah.
did you notice how you listed everything under projects, you listed everything under courses, everything is expanded.
Yeah.
Okay. So part of your work is kind of like Ayman, right? Ayman said, when he first came, he had like a bunch of stuff. And then if you notice his version today, it's kind of like streamlined because he's understanding the psychology of how to have an effective resume,
Yeah.
right? So did I kind of address your courses question, or do you
Uh,
still have a question?
yes, no, you did.
Okay, I addressed
no,
it.
yeah.
Okay, because did you notice how you wrote a bunch of stuff under coursework, courses and coursework, and then when I go to projects, you did the same thing. You kind of like listed a bunch of stuff. So you
Yeah.
need to start cleaning this up for the very busy hiring manager.
Yeah.
What else?
Okay, so
Because I know what the next thing is. Unless you had questions, I want to work on your bullets. See if you
okay.
understand the concept that I just discussed with Ayman. Actually, I'm going to have Ayman work on your bullets with you. because
Okay.
that's practice for him. Do you have questions, Ali?
Yeah, so I have another question about like having two period of times of experience.
What do you
Like
mean?
like this one. I like worked there like
That's too
twice.
much
So
detail. They don't care, man. Just pick something. But
okay,
to
like
list it all down like you have, plus you don't have to write full months, right? DEC, they get that it's December. FEB, they get that it's February. So let me introduce the concept of character ninja. The more white space you have in your resume, the more inviting it is to read. So start getting rid of characters like I just described with the dates.
okay.
So your question was very specific. You're like, oh, Bernie, I actually work two periods. Is that really some data that they're dying to know? Not really. So just make it easier for them, man. Pick a start date, pick an end date. And then if you have to explain it once you get the interview, explain it.
Like okay, but for my case, like how like should I put it? Because I want to like show them that I had like for this job, for example, I had like 6 month experience.
Well, what makes sense for you? The way you have it is not working. Too much information. To make it simpler, how would you make it simpler such that your experience makes sense?
Uh, like put the of course the start date at December 2022,
Hmm.
then put it until I'm not sure to be honest.
Okay. What I would do is December DEC 2022 2 and then asterisk asterisk FEB 2024.
Okay.
Why do you think that would work? I don't have as many characters as you, but I did something very specific so that they would raise their attention that it's not from December 22 to February 2024.
Okay.
Did you understand what I said?
A little bit.
Tell me what you heard.
So basically try like to put less character, like DEC, then
DEC 2022.
yeah, then put I'm not sure.
DEC 2022 to February 2024. But that's not the truth because you didn't work the entire time, right?
Oh, okay, okay,
So before February 2024, I'm going to put an asterisk.
okay,
So I'm not lying now. And
yeah,
then I'm flagging their attention that it's different. If they want to know, they'll ask.
yeah,
But you see how I'm not really focusing on that because is that really critical information that they need to know?
yeah. Okay, got it.
Good question. What else?
Um, for the projects,
You got
uh,
too many bullets, man. That's too lengthy. I mean, just looking at it, I'm tired. I'm not even bothering to read it. Okay. So part of your task is what Ayman came to this for. Okay. And when I'm looking, they're all descriptions, man. It's like you wrote a paper on what you did. That's it.
Can
yeah,
I add a point if you don't mind?
Go ahead, please.
Uh, I think you should name your projects like what
Mm.
project it is. Like if you give a heading to the project and write a description, it would be more easier for the reader to read.
okay. So you mean like the title of the project?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Title
Oh,
of it.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I thought this was one big project.
Oh no, it's yeah,
Do you
multiple.
see what Ayman just told you to do? Because I'm looking
Yeah.
at this, it's like one big project and you put too much information. I didn't even realize that it's four different projects. Do you see what we're talking about? First impressions? First impression is very important. I just saw this as one big project and you put 1, 2, 3, 4 bullets describing it. I'm like, why? I really don't have time to read all of this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that was a good catch, Iman. I didn't realize there were 4 different projects. So again, relative to the job description, are all those 4 projects relevant to what they're looking for?
Okay.
Ali,
Yeah.
that was a question for you.
Sorry.
According to the job descriptions that you've been looking at, are all these projects relevant to what they're looking for?
Yes, I think they
I
are.
think is not good. Your answer should either be yes or no. When somebody says I think, that means they're not sure. And that means you're kind of falling into the category of wasting their reading time. You need to be sure.
Okay.
Okay. Because if you're not even sure about your work, how do you think they'll be sure about wanting to hire you if it doesn't make sense to them? Do you see what we're talking about?
Yeah, I
You
see.
have to know what they want, and you need to categorize your experiences so that they get it. If you're not sure, they won't be sure. And if they're not sure, they won't pick you.
Yeah.
More questions? So I think you'll be in the same boat as Iman when I talk to him Monday. You're going to be chopping some of these stuff off and then try to do some work on his bullets so he gets the work that you did, Iman. Pick one bullet, start with the one on top. I guess let's go to his defense hacker internship. Actually, before we go there, do the relevance exercise that I just did with you, Iman. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, give it a shot. Let's see what Ali has.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you think is relevant
Now,
of your
what's the top priority that they need to see first?
So when you were looking in the internships in the job description, what were they, expecting from you?
So they would expect from me like to have some.
Actually, no, let me rephrase that question. That's too general. According to the job descriptions that you're looking at, Ali, which one is the most important experience that you have
Yeah.
that will make you the best candidate?
Okay.
You're not sure again because you haven't thought about it, right? But do you see how we're planting a seed, Ali? You need to answer that question because the end result of a job application is that they pick you. So if you don't know what you're targeting, which is the job description, and you don't know what your most important experience is, then you're not very high on their list. Okay. You may need to give it some more time to think, but do you understand the question so that you
Yeah,
can think about it after this?
yeah, I understand.
Did you see what we did with Ayman earlier? I asked that same question, and then Ayman kind of like pointed this one. And then he goes like, the next one is this one. So Ayman was sure about what he wanted them to see first, because number one, he studied the job description. Number two, he knows what he has to contribute. So according to what he knows about those two things, he's going to superimpose that so that he becomes the best candidate. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So you need to do some of that work. Are you available tomorrow at 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So why don't you do what Ayman did? Take some time to take a look at the resources we talked about. Take some time to digest some of this information. I recorded this, by the way, and I'm going to send it to both of you so that you can review it and it kind of like refreshes your memory as to what we talked about. And then I'm hoping to see both of you guys tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Final questions?
I just have like the question about the order again. So do you think I should like keep the education on the top?
Don't worry about that right now. That's minor. I'd rather you worked on your bullets
Yeah, bullets, yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about that because you see, when you start talking about organization and look, that means we got past the meat of what you have to offer because it's very easy. Formatting, arrangement, those are easy things to do. What I'm more concerned for both of you guys is, are you talking job description and results? That's really your focus. The other stuff, arrangement of resume, that's easy to fix because you just move stuff around.
Yeah. I got a question.
Go ahead.
So I've heard that I know every job description is different. So you need to trim your resume according to the job description. So how many ever jobs you apply, do you need to, alter your resume and then, send those resumes to the.
Very good question. In a perfect world, if you want to be relevant, especially in a very competitive job market, you need to be speaking their language, right?
Yes.
I had a session this morning where this one student, it was his first session, and he was insisted that, I think he's coming from the perspective of time again, because you guys are very, very busy students. You don't have all the time in the world. So his strategy was to have, let's just say he has 5 specialties, A, B, C, D, and E. He puts A, B, C, and D all in one resume.
Mhm.
And then I said, when you have a generalist who puts everything and a specialist who only puts one thing,
Thing.
if they had to pick between a generalist and a specialist in a very competitive job market, who do you think they will pick?
Obviously the specialist.
Exactly. So to your question, Iman, and that's usually a problem. So let me give you a solution. What if you have a master resume?
Mhm.
Actually, I want to call it a master repository, such that it has all of your good bullets.
Bullets.
You like the way that it worded it. It covered impact, results focus and all that, but you only have one spot. So as you're applying to jobs and then you go, oh, they want that, not a problem. Oh, they want this, not a
The
problem.
problem.
So now you're just going to one spot and it's much, much easier to tailor.
Yeah.
But to your point of, do you need to tailor? I leave that question up to you. The answer is, will they pick the specialist
Specialist.
or will they pick the generalist? The answer is for you to
Yes.
pick.
I get it.
Very good question. What else do you have, Ali? Iman?
Yeah, and do you think the resume I am, preparing or tailoring it, will I, able to get uh, a entry level job in the market? Because prior I don't have any kind of experience. I completed my undergraduate and then I just came here to pursue my master's.
Mhm.
So
So
will
that's
my
why all the more
academic experience
it's
be
more
valid?
important for you to highlight what it is that they're looking for
Yeah,
because of the point that you just made. Because if you just list it down as experiences in college and then you don't present yourself such that it's attractive to their job description, then they won't pick you.
thank you.
Okay. So remember that example that I gave you, the high school,
Mhm.
Benjamin? He
Yes,
actually just graduated from high school, but he had some projects.
process.
But if you notice case study 5 better, once you
Mhm.
took a look at it, it was like all results, right? So is
Yeah,
the question, does he have the experience? He has the experience to projects, but
project.
he's only a high school graduate.
Graduate, yeah.
So you guys understand the power of marketing yourself. That's what we're really talking about. What is your audience looking for? And then match it. I mean, that's marketing 101. Good?
Yeah, I understand.
All right. You guys are doing nice work. I can see the progress going, and then I can see the light bulbs turning on. So final questions, Ali?
No, I
All right. I guess you have the work. I gave you the resources. So we'll
yeah.
see you guys at 11 o'clock tomorrow.
All right, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Talk to you
Yeah.
soon. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Very
Thank
nice
you.
work.